This boy was born with hands like scissors. It made even the simplest things, like eating, a struggle. Sometimes, without meaning to, he would cut his own face. His father dreamed of replacing those hands with real ones. But before he could finish, he passed away suddenly from the stress of overwork. The mechanical hands he was building were left broken and unfinished. Edward just wanted to touch his father's face one last time, but when he did, his blades caused it to bleed. After that, Edward lived all alone in the mansion. One day, a door-to-door saleswoman wandered into the mansion by chance. Hidden in the shadows, Edward slowly stepped out. He held out his incomplete hands, hoping someone, anyone, might help him. When the woman Peg realized he was an orphan, her heart went out to him. She decided to take him home. During the car ride, Edward couldn't stop staring out the window. It was his first glimpse of the outside world. When they arrived at Peg's house, Edward was amazed by how clean and colorful the neighborhood was. Peg took him straight to a room she had prepared. There, Edward saw himself clearly in a mirror for the first time. When he tried to touch his face, he accidentally cut himself again. He turned and noticed a bathtub, but he had no idea what it was. He twisted the faucet and water started pouring in, but the tub began to overflow, and in a panic, he shoved a stuffed animal into the drain and hurriedly tried to pull his pants back on. At that moment, Peg was on the phone, and Edward had wrapped himself tightly in towels like a penguin. Peg rushed in and helped him. After bandaging his wounds, she helped him get dressed. At dinner, Edward realized he couldn't even hold a fork properly. When he tried to bring a single pea to his mouth, it fell. Peg encouraged him, and eventually he managed to spread butter on a piece of bread, finally able to eat in peace. The next day, Peg gave Edward a little makeover. He ended up looking like a tiny devil. As he stepped outside, he saw a neighbor trimming hedges. Edward tried it too and ended up sculpting an incredible dinosaur-shaped bush. When Peg's husband saw the topiary, he was blown away. He asked Edward to cut everyone's hair in the family. Afterward, their son helped Edward wash his scissor hands. Later, Peg's neighbors threw a party. Guests lined up to shake hands but stopped when it was Edward's turn. So Edward began grilling meat using his unusual hands. An old man approached him and said, "I caught some shrapnel during the war. Since then, I haven't been able to feel a thing." At that moment, Peg gently fed Edward some ice cream. One by one, all the women began offering him bites of food each, one showing him a little kindness he'd never known.